Hi, the name is Al Turner, and just want to welcome you guys and thank you for tuning in to my video. It's going to be short, brief, and to the point. I um I do a lot of mailings, and um, I have some, as well as trainings, and I've had some real great opportunity to train some real interesting people. Um, One thing about my trainings and people that I deal with, we bounce back ideas off of one another. Um, this was my turn to do some training and to gather some information and some little tips that I use to run my business to save money. Um, a little non-profit thing I do here in my home on my downtime. Some items I find here and there. I like to ship stuff out. I love helping people. Um, it's just really interesting and beneficial. I tell you, paying forward and being a blessing um, has great monumental rewards personally for me. So with that being said, I'm just going to give a short training on how I save on doing my printing and shipping. Real simple, real easy. Um, I find one of the most expensive aspects of printing of shipping labels is acquiring the paper needed to ship the labels and to print the labels, different address labels out. I was buying reams of paper and it was like, whoa, this is a lot. This is costing me more than anything else, almost everything else combined. Um, Even the ink. I learned how to, household finagle the ink in, and if you just out and out buy an ink from your local store, Kmart, Target, Staples, that's expensive. That can be costly. But second, that would be the number one cost factor in printing. The second would be supplying the paper. So what I did was I had to devise up a way because again it's a nonprofit and I am a small person. I just do this out of my home, um, and there is no funds. There is no funds allocated, no budget. Um, it's just done out of the goodness of my heart. So with that being said, I do a lot of volunteering at different agencies in the community. I live here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I don't mind sharing that. And there are a plethora of different outreach agencies, um, boys and girls clubs, and stuff in places where I volunteer at. And I just had this aha moment, and I looked around, and what we do is we pass out flyers throughout the course of the season, throughout the course of the year, to communicate to the people in the community, in the neighborhood, and our wonderful neighbors of the different activities and functions that are available. Um, at the centers, at the health center, I do outreach work at the health center. I do outreach work at the Boys and Girls Clubs. I'm a member of the YMCA. Um, so yeah, I'm quite busy, but then with building my community and what have you, and just giving back. So with that being said, with that we do a lot of flyers. We post them up at local grocery stores, local delicatessens. They call them poppy stores here in the inner cities, and they're very nice, and they allow us to post up these different venues that we have going on throughout the neighborhood. I thought I had one of the flyers here with me, but I don't see it. At any rate, so when these functions are done and over with, we have a whole bunch of flyers left over um, that are no longer needed with outdated information on them. And so we would recycle them, going green. I love it. So but I said, oh my God, look all that paper just being recycled. And then a lot of times you would have these items and information. I'm trying to find one here with that has the function on one side, but on the other side, it's blank. And I was like, oh my God. And I started looking around the office, and like we had all these papers just sitting around with all these different functions that have came and gone. And paper just sitting there, huge stacks and stacks of paper. And the only thing I saw was like, oh my God, that's $50, that's $60, that's $150 worth of paper that I could utilize in my business. So I politely asked the directors and several of the individuals that were overseeing these functions, what are you doing with those papers? What are you doing with those papers? As after the function, they're no longer needed. Do you mind if I take those? And I just politely asked, and I said, I'm doing a little venture at my home, and I need some printing paper. And just explain to them what you're doing. And because you're volunteering, they say, oh my God, you're such a blessing, such a help. Go ahead and take it, Brother Turner. Go ahead and take it, Brother Turner. You're good, you're good, you're good. So with that, so I took the paper. And for all those, because I do have a lot of people that I know that are running businesses, small mom and pop business out of their homes, and they're running on a shoestring budget. And again, paper is expensive. And I shared with them, you know, and I brought them my papers that I had accumulated. I said, listen, for your mailing, why don't you use this? They looked at me at first and were like, but then we got something on it. But then I flipped it over, so like, oh my God, jackpot. So what they did was they started printing um, address labels, different information that were pertaining to their company on the reverse side that they would slap on the packages. But basically, I strongly recommend just using only 4 address labels. That way, it's non-evasive information that's general and generic. Um, Definitely critique that because you don't want to send out anything with anyone's information on it, or anything that's detrimental or that people may find offensive. Again, all my paperwork comes from events that are really food giveaway, food pantries. We're doing free medical stuff like that, checkups for your kids and babies, stuff that's not harmful to the recipient of your item if they really go through the problem of ripping up the label and seeing what's on the back of it. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. That people are static to getting items. They don't care about the address label. They care about what's inside. So with that being said, what I do is I take paper that has I had messed up one and the printer didn't print out correctly. I got from my people. I flip it on the reverse side. I make sure that it's done with the so that the print side is up with the white paper, so that it's showing when it prints it print up on the correct side, not the already printed on side. That's essential. Try to get that down pat. Make sure your papers are in order. Make sure the papers are in order. For your side. Let me flip this over. I see some of the papers are not in order here. Clear side, clear side, clear side, clear side. Make sure that the clear side, that you don't have the print side up. You don't want to waste ink. I'm very frugal. You don't want to waste ink. You don't want to, print over already printed information or old paper. And that's basically it. One really nice way of saving money. Oh, another one is when I do labels. I also like to say, for instance, let me see if I can find one here for you guys. Here you go, here's it. Say for instance this was an address and I printed up this address on this side. I would then take the paper and flip it and turn it over and insert it on the clear side with that address being up, and boom, and it'll print out a different address on the other. On the flip side, but the address would be on the opposite label, opposite side of the paper. So that way, that one single sheet of paper, if it's a white clear sheet of paper that's that I haven't used and it's nice and clean. It's nice and clean on both sides, and of course I wouldn't have one here, which is crazy. Well, no, it's not because I recycle. That's not crazy. So if you have one that's like clean on both sides, you print on one side, then you flip it, put it, and you put on the other side. Um, that way, one address is on one side on the top, and then it'll print up on the bottom on the flip side. That way, you'll be going green in that way. You'll be saving yourself a tremendous amount, and you'll be putting up using that one paper to its maximum efficiency. So with that being said, I want to thank you for watching my video. This is my first video on how I go about saving money and using paper as a venue to save my paper. Because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And you want to, and the thing about running a business and running a nonprofit is finding ways to maximize on your resources. And paper is one of the most essential, expensive, necessary resources out there. Everyone talks about going green and using the internet and going online and switching into a paperless society. I've been hearing that for quite some time, at least 10 years easy. And it has that has not happened, and it doesn't seem like it will ever happen. So we're using 6 to 7 billion times as much paper than ever before. Then since they started this initiative to go green and to go paperless, it seems like paper has just increased a billionfold. Paper usage has increased a billionfold, and that's just my little way of, showing people how to save and go green and save the trees. I'm a tree person. I'm a park person. I was born up in a nice little tiny town way out up in New York, and we had trees. And I would like to see my kids and my kids' kids and my grandkids and my family enjoy parks and walks and forests with trees, forests and forests and nature. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, share. This is just tremendous savings for those who have a business. You will save you hundreds, if not thousands upon thousands of dollars if you utilize this little secret I use. I know a lot of people, oh, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not gonna do that. Once you start doing it, and once you start seeing how much you're spending on paper and your bottom line and how much you can save, oh baby, you'll start doing it. I did. Take care. Thank you so much. Again, subscribe, like. If you have any questions or comments, please. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I would love to hear from you. Again, the name is Al Turner. Take care. God bless.